toy stays on toy. We walked in there just kind of scouting out the place, and the guy was like, why the fuck are you in our room?
I found a jar of human teeth in the shock room.
I'm gonna cut this out.
I'm like uncertain if I want the beer in frame, but it's also kind of like I think it's also just fine, you know.
It's fine.
Dude, cheers, bro.
Cheers. Thanks for coming out.
No, dude, definitely.
Mr. Marco.
Thank you for having me. I like the GameCube hat. I've been super big into retro gaming recently.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen how they make like those little like new like hardware emulators where you put an SD card in? You can play like any game in them now.
Where do you get those at?
Honestly, I got
Here,
like
make sure you're talking to that mic right there.
check.
Just make sure to like you know at all times. If you need to move it, by all means. If you need to move it.
I got one like literally like a $10 one off of Temu, and that kind of like started like that whole venture. And it's literally just like a hardware SD card goes in it, and it has like a bunch of just emulators.
Another thing too. Make sure it'll be kind of angled.
Yeah. For sure.
You're not the first guest to like make sure like to look straight
Just
at
sit
me.
there, yeah.
Yeah, but just understand like.
Is it bad? I mean, I can always remind myself like look towards like that pole.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sick.
Just make sure like like we're kind of like at a angle like that. That's cool.
probably
And then actually have the mic.
Yes.
Like kind of like that.
Yes.
I'll watch you.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Now, like I said, it's like my first time, I guess, doing even a podcast with like that's up close and personal.
Okay.
For the, at first, whenever we started doing any kind of podcast, they were definitely like coming out of COVID. A lot of them were Zoom calls. You know what I mean? So I mean, those were cool. I can't remember the name of those right now.
Well, there's a lot, man.
Dude, there are.
There's
And
a lot. What was your favorite one? And it's not this one, but let's be honest. But what was your favorite one?
We did one maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. It was over that Zoom podcast. It was honestly the first one we did.
Okay.
And other than like those Twitch streams we did, I think that was pretty much the only like real podcast I was ever a part of. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I had a little oopsie daisies at one point, and just gotta learn from there, you know.
Yeah.
And then you actually had a couple of like my boys on your show, and I'm super huge in guitar, and so I saw the name, I was like,
yeah,
it's like this is awesome. This is
Thanks,
sweet,
man.
you know.
I think it's awesome too. I mean, obviously that's why I'm doing it.
Yeah,
you know?
Do you do this right now like as a part time, or do you doing this like all now full time, or a little both?
I wish to be full time.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's not full time. If you want a little bit more about me, I guess I do work a full time job.
Yeah.
It's got benefits and shit. You know what I'm saying?
You need those.
I need a pulse sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's nice to have a pulse sometimes. But I do that. I do work a lot of overtime right now too. I was telling, I don't know if for anyone that follows like my Instagram, I have been working like 70+ hours a week. Damn. For like January and December. It's voluntary. I just it's just money that's needed right now.
Work hard.
You're the first guest to be on here in like 2 months, bro.
Wow, yeah.
2 months, yeah. So I still have editing to do from previous videos, but again, I just haven't had time.
No, I feel there's not enough hours in the day.
But today was like my last day, like in a long time, like working, 60, 70+ hour week. So I'm good for now.
Man, yeah, no, I mean, I'm glad it was working out that way. I mean, it's nothing like working hard and it's just paying off in the end, you know?
I mean, it's my hobby, man. It's my hobby. Do you have any hobbies besides music?
I skateboard.
Oh, heck yeah.
I love skateboarding. I do have to like be more mindful not to hurt myself, you know? My car had an issue a couple months ago, so I was skateboarding everywhere. Ooh. And I just kind of fell in love with it. But I had broke my arm about a year ago. And then, of course...
Is that what this is right here?
Oh, yeah. I broke my arm like in 5 places.
Want to show the camera?
Oh, yeah, here. Let me take this thing off real quick.
That's disgusting, man.
Nah, dude, it was brutal. Like, I don't even know if I can get a good angle on it. I don't know if
I think that's good.
Yeah, no, I broke my arm in like 5 places, just skateboarding, just having fun. And it was literally just like as soon as I fell, I was like, man, I can't even feel my arm.
Yeah.
And I didn't even really feel the fall either. So I was like, oh, man. I immediately just had someone drive me to the hospital.
What were you trying to pull off?
To be honest, I actually had kind of like a gear malfunction. My truck broke. I was just carving in a bowl, and whenever I aired out and landed down, I just slid out because my truck had turned out and broke out. The kingpin on it did, the little straight like pole that goes through the truck. It just snapped.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't leave your skateboard in your car when it's 115 degrees outside.
We were like in Africa. Where were you?
I was here. Okay, maybe it was like 105, but
Yeah.
You know,
it feels like 115 though.
well, when you leave your
Dude, was it last year? Because last year was bad.
dude, last year was hot.
Was it last year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was last year. It was
I know what you mean,
hot.
man. I know what you mean.
You leave your board in your car, and you know it's 105 outside. It's probably it gets a little hotter in the car.
For sure. What kind of truck was it?
It was one of those. It was like a Tensor hollow light. So like literally the kingpin and the axles are hollowed out, so the board's really light. But I didn't really ever think about like I was probably skateboarding every day for at least like 4 hours just for fun.
It's good cardio now.
Oh, it's amazing cardio. It'll keep your core strong and your legs strong for sure. And then just trying to get from point A to point B, it's like you have to get there, you know, especially if it's like at that time, you know, later on this last year, I was using my board just to get to work or get wherever to the store to get food.
Is it a far roll to get to your work?
That's about 7-8 miles.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
7-8 miles.
That's a nice little exercise.
That's
You're probably
like
sweating now.
One way and back, you know, one way
Yeah.
and back.
Oh, 7 miles total.
Oh, no. It was about 14
miles
total. You know,
total.
like 7 miles one way, 7 miles back. And,
Okay.
you know, there was some days it was just like, man, I'm tired from working. My foot hurts from, you know, just skating all week at that point. And
Yeah, Uber. Time for Uber.
there was a couple times I just had to. There was a couple times it was just like I just physically couldn't, you know.
Yeah.
But other than that, I grew up doing martial arts. It's actually something I don't tell a lot of people.
Okay.
I grew up doing martial arts from a young age, and kind of had to slow that down once the band kind of started getting picked up a lot more. You know, I had a kid, and it was just I had to figure out different things, and now I just have like no extra time.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I hear kids will do that to you sometimes.
They're a blessing.
That's good.
I know. I have a daughter, and it's been an amazing experience.
It's nice, man. How old is she? Can I ask that?
She just turned 1 year old.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she was born 1, 2, 3. She just turned a whole year old, and
Wow.
it was it's crazy to see her little personality honestly develop.
I know what you mean. Well, I don't know what you mean, but I know what you mean because like I have a niece and I kind of
Yeah.
saw that happen. You know, I'm there like 20% of her life, but I can still understand kind of, I think, what you're talking about.
What's interesting still is that like, you know, when they're first born, like they're like they're a little baby. They're kind of like a little potato, and as a dude, it's kind of like I've
You
never
get
even
hungry
held
sometimes too.
I've never even held a baby until then. And so it was like my first time like holding a baby, taking care of a baby, and all that other stuff. And I was just like, oh no, what do I do?
Yeah.
And it was definitely a great learning experience. You know, I definitely like who I am a lot more now after having my daughter.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. I hear it just make you mature, you know, exponentially. It doesn't matter what age you are. It could be 21, it could be 31. I just hear it's just you have no choice, right? You just have no choice.
There isn't, you know, they're just this little being, and you bring them into the world, and you know, you gotta, as a man, you just gotta provide for them in all sorts of different ways.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother different learning lesson I had, you know. I'm still learning them, but all you can do is be better.
For sure. And they don't come with manuals from last time I heard.
No.
You should write your own manual.
Oh man, I mean,
Sell that thing, man.
man, you know, I have a couple tips. I have a
think
couple
so.
interesting tips, honestly.
Get yourself a printer.
Oh yeah, no, I mean definitely. I could probably just write them down and have someone, you know, help it make more sense. But I mean, it's still a learning process. You know, what's interesting with having a girl is that like I had to learn how to be more emotionally intelligent because the girls are just so different than boys.
Do you feel like you understand women differently now? Or girls in general? She's not a woman, obviously. She's a womanette. But do you feel like you understand like girls a little bit better?
I definitely view and look at them a lot differently because it's kind of like that's someone else's little girl. It's like someone else's world and pride and joy. And I never used to think like that.
Yeah.
You know, I just out and about in the world, you just see, you know, you just see women and girls just go through different things. And it's just like, man, I just want to help make sure, you know, I could, in a sense, protect, but also just nurture her for all that stuff, you know, because the world's a crazy place.
A little bit, right?
Yeah, no, and especially these days, it's like as she grows up, she's already like super attracted to like electronics.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
it blows my mind because I'm not super big on them. You know, most of the time I just kind of sit in my room and just play guitar.
Yeah.
So I've been.
Wait, she's one. What do you mean? Like she likes to kind of like be a little bit dangerous when, or like, she likes to play around and just not be curious.
It's so weird because like it's almost, I feel like she has like a little antenna in her head and she just knows where electronics are. Like if she knows where everybody's phones are, she knows where the remote is, and like, you know, I'm not really ever really on my phone or anything like that around her, just simply because I'm not really attached like that.
Yeah,
Plus my phone screen's kind of cracked, so I don't want her to touch it and get like her little finger scratched or cut.
for sure.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like she just knows where they are. She kind of knows how to use them. It's super weird. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like weird how, like, yeah.
What was the first thing that she grabbed, like electronically wise?
Definitely her mother's phone
Oh,
or the remote, one or the other.
okay.
And-
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because we would use it to put on her show or she loves Miss Rachel.
Oh, yeah.
What's crazy is that, like, she's one, but she's very good at communicating, and I partially do think it's from watching that show as much as she does.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of, like, high stimulating shows that we try to keep her away from, just simply because, like, this is too many colors. But, like, she knows how to communicate with us in her own way, and it blows my mind.
She's a rare one.
Yeah, no, I mean, what's super crazy is she can actually kind of already play some instruments to like a beat, which is very interesting. She's very she's very much a visual learner. So like I'll just sit there with her and she has all sorts of little pianos and guitars, and you know, even whenever I'm playing guitar, I'll have her sit with me and I'll just have her strum the guitar with me. And
Okay.
it blows my mind because I'm like, is she playing to the beat right now? Mm-hmm. And it's
Is there music playing a lot in your household?
all the time. All the time. My neighbors probably hate me. You know, I'm either always working with something with Foreword. I've been doing some self-production with me and some other artists just to kind of expand that whole world for myself. I spent a lot of time in a studio just watching other people do it, you know. By no means am I like a Corey Brunnerman or like a Chris Moore or anything close to that, but after spending so much time around them, you know, I was able to learn a lot.
Yeah, Corey and Chris, you've been working with them with Forward by itself. I mean, I don't know about your other bands, but for sure with Forward.
Yes. Yeah, with Forward, we worked with both of them, and they're both phenomenal. Like, they're both geniuses. It's honestly super crazy being in the studio with them. They definitely work a magic.
Yeah, Going Under with Chris, right?
Yes.
I want to say that's the one.
Yes. Chris Moore did Going Under, and what's interesting is, you know, we went in there with like a really strong idea of what we wanted, but the way he's able to actually produce and engineer it really helps make the sound come together. And it's there's a huge difference between having a producer that can understand what you're trying to do and actually produce it to where it needs to be at like that caliber, and versus just someone who's just trying to hit record and track all this and like, all right, we're done, get out of here, you know. Luckily, I haven't had too many instances. Like, I was very blessed. You know, my first real time in a studio, I was working with Chris Mora, and
Was it for that song or was it for a different song?
Going Under was with Chris Mora.
But was that your first time working with Chris? Would you say?
Yes. And honestly, whenever I worked with him and met him, I think we had an amazing time. We were literally sitting there passing the guitar back and forth, bouncing ideas around, and completely reinvented. You know, he helped reinvent the actual song into what it is. You know, we normally go into the studio with like 5 versions of the same song.
Okay.
And so we go in with like 10, 12 songs. Like, we probably have like over 50 different ideas.
Yeah, man, he's cool, man. He actually, you know, he writes a lot of different genres, so it's good to have him under your team, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know, he got that billboard the other month, or you know, for I think it's like reggae. I don't know what kind of music it is. It's like it's like Hispanic music.
It is. It's like that, almost like what is it? It's like not like it's I know what you're talking about. I couldn't think of it right
It's
now.
that one artist.
I think it's Vinny Tovar or.
Well, Vinny Tovar, he's a country artist here in town.
I like what he's been doing with him a lot too. It's different. It's different.
But no, but Chris Moore, he got a billboard for co-producing on one of. It's gonna bug me for the rest of the day.
No, definitely.
But yeah, no, Chris is really cool. I love Chris. Everybody hates Chris, but I love Chris.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say,
it's a show.
I was about to say, really? It's like, how could you hate him? Like, I'm like, he's like the nicest, one of the nicest dudes I've ever met.
It's called Haika. That's the name of the song. It's the artist is. Who's that artist?
Hika?
Yeah, Haika. Heikka. It's by Nicky Jam and Bailey. Nicky Jam. That's like the artist that I know.
He was phenomenal to work with. Like, honestly, the way his brain works and just the way he can like just elevate a sound into like cut the caliber that you want or like whatever you hear in your head without being able to necessarily just explain it with words. Like, he just gets it.
Yeah.
Well, it was, Corey Burnham's very much the same way. We actually just worked with him with this last EP, and honestly, he was amazing. But I will say, like, we needed him at that time. We definitely, I think, needed him at that time because his style, I think, was just appropriate for the vision that we have for this new EP that's coming out.
Why do you say, like, what's his style? Like, why do you feel like he really made an impact in that way?
I think the biggest thing that really helped with Corey is that he told us no a lot. And I think he also like really helped with realistically the engineering and the dynamics, because this new album that we're working on is a genre that's like not really a genre, but it's like also not really, it hasn't really been done too much. The elements that we're mixing in, it's kind of like something that's already been kind of tried and done, but I haven't found too many big artists that have actually really pushed it with a vocalist. I hear a lot of different artists and bands that do this genre with just instrumentals. And now that we're throwing vocals on it, it definitely kind of changes that dynamic of like who's done it and what's been done. So I'm very excited for the release of this. This next album. It's very different than the last. I had to.
Are you? Yeah, I'm not gonna ask.
No, ask.
I was just gonna, and we can cut it out. But like, do you know roughly when it'll come out?
Oh, it's gonna be out February 20th. Yeah, now it's scheduled.
Oh, that's right. You told me about that.
Yeah, now the label has all that scheduled out.
Yeah.
And the rest of the EP will be out, and it's different. I definitely think we pushed a new boundary.
And what's the name of the EP? You can say it because this is not going to be out until probably after. I'm going to do my very best to get it out as soon as February 20th is passed by.
No rush. No rush. We can definitely honestly talk in the sense of like this will be out after the fact.
Yeah.
I guess that would be not past tense, right?
Kinda,
right?
Actually, very much, yeah.
Yeah, no, so I mean, it's different. It's different. Forward, before, we definitely had this envisionment of like trying to blend EDM and dubstep with metalcore.
Okay, I'm gonna let you finish because I got something to say about that.
Okay. And we've done that before, but we didn't really make a whole genre out of it. And our next album after that had some elements, but it was very much more melodic with anthologies. With the Exposition album, I hope that's the name of it. With Exposition, it's definitely it's different. It's I feel like I listen to a lot of music, but I haven't really heard of too many other bands that are doing that, like kind of like very heavy EDM, dubstep.
Kind of like going for like a Browning sound. You know the Browning, the band?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that kind of like
what,
is that? And again, I'm sure by the time this comes out, people already know what you're talking about.
Yes.
But I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Is it like the Browning?
It's similar to the Browning in some ways, where they're very, I would say, heavy with the EDM or with like the very electronic parts. I would definitely say we had to learn how to blend heavy with riffs and with like these new modern elements, and there's just so much going on. And but it's actually probably way easier to play than our old stuff in terms of like I guess patterns. But I will say it's not that easy. There's a lot more, I think, remembering versus like than the versus kind of like once it's in there, I feel like it's definitely easier to play. But definitely the last album was more melodic. This new album just has a different hit. It's different. I'm super excited about it. You know, like I said, I haven't heard too many bands that have done this exact kind of style, because I did a couple other things that are going to be different with, especially with lead guitar, because I'm a lead guitarist, but I also play rhythm. But at the same time, whenever the leads come, I try to do something that helps the sound, but it's also tasteful and different. And it's kind of sometimes, you know, hard to make something sound familiar and different and still fit the song all at the same time. And it was actually, I'm really excited about it. I tried to do a lot of different things than I've ever done before and really kind of push, you know, boundaries and abilities of what we can kind of get away with. What really helped is having all those like EDM electronic elements in it. And
who made that? Was it, or what producer were you working with?
that was with Corey with
And
its new album.
do you know what software he was using to create? Was it like what wavetable was he using, or did he not steal, but did he download samples and stuff? Like, I don't know how much you know about that.
I'm pretty sure he was using Pro Tools as his DAW.
As DAW, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure with Pro Tools, they have all sorts of different libraries that they can, you know, they can use. And at the end of the day, you know, a lot of the times it's just, it's a lot of keyboard, it's a lot of electronic work, and it's just accenting the music. It's kind of like playing those EDM and elements in the pockets where it's like there should be something here, and it's filling in a lot of like that kind of like it's filling in a lot of like that sound sonically that really, it just has a different dynamic. It has a very huge sound.
Is it like part of like the breakdown for dubstep stuff, or like can you describe it to like where it fits in and why you put it there maybe?
So what's interesting is I almost think about it as like another, like the sixth bandmate or an extra bandmate sometimes, because the EDM elements and synth parts are doing, they have a huge voice and they're doing a lot, and it's really either pushing the bass out or it's really pushing out the voice out, you know, through like the higher end. And from there it's very definitely, it just has a different element, you know. Sometimes like the music's doing one thing and it has one kind of movement, but then the synth and the other like kind of dubstep elements are almost kind of like helping you, like also keeping your mind open to something else kind of coming.
Okay.
You know, the idea is kind of like if like the guitar makes you kind of want to rock, but then the synth parts make you want to pop.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the way they fit together. It's pretty cool how he was able to engineer that, because we had a lot of ideas when it came down to that, but he was a huge part of the brain and the production of like a lot of that synth elements, because
Yeah.
you know, he definitely has the ear and the experience, and he has a lot of experience. You know, he was amazing to work with. It blows my mind sometimes when I work with other musicians like that. I'm just like, dude, like you're like, your brain's amazing, you know. That's also how I really felt with Chris Mora, because it makes me just want to push harder and elevate myself. And at the end, you know,
is there like an example maybe that you remember of like when you were like basically describing what you're talking about right now?
so the most time I probably spent writing leads was on this last album, and let me tell you how many leads were not actually added.
Oh.
I'd spend hours making this like what I felt was this amazing part, you know, this amazing lead over this part. I was like, this could use this, and then I'd show it to my you know, Andy. I'd show it to Andy, and he has a huge influence over kind of what flies and what doesn't. He has a very clear vision in his head of what he wants, and at the end of the day, I'd spend like 4 hours trying to track something down and track an idea down. Like, I'd be so proud, and then you'd hit play, pause before you even hears the whole thing. It's like, nah, that's not it. I'd be like, what do you mean that's not it? And it's like, nah, that's not it. And instead of kind of sitting there being like, you know, throwing a fit about it, be like, okay, I'll write something else.
Yeah.
And it makes me actually push myself outside of my comfort zone. I was able to have different ideas outside of that point. And I was definitely pretty happy with how that part came out. You know, I think it got a better product from not sitting there kind of stuck on an idea and just sitting there like, okay, let me try something else.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, I sat there and I was thinking to myself, it's like, I need to try something different, maybe push a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some different recording processes we went through this, because there's even sometimes I'd be like, all right, what's your idea then?
Yeah.
And I'd make him go into the mic, and I'd sit there, make him literally, I'd record him just like kind of like humming the tune. And then I would do my part of just refining it into like a guitar part, you know, and just trying to bring even like his vision that he has in his head to life.
Yeah, man.
And at the end of it, it made me better at what I do. You know, it's not called Marco and the guys. It's Forward.
Marco and the Forwards.
Yeah, Marco and the Forwards. You know, it's Forward.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, an intern, it made me just better.
I got a quick question.
Yes.
And you can say no.
Okay.
Off camera, and maybe do you happen to have all the songs on your phone and show me, and we can come back and just discuss it? How many songs is it?
It's going to be a 6-song EP.
Can we listen to that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. What's funny is we have all the studio names for the songs, but whenever we were writing them and recording, we had their original names. And like, man, what was Intimate Torment originally called? Man.
I'm the same way. I think every band does this.
Yes.
It's normal.
You know, like we have a song called Cyber, or that whenever we started working on, it was called Cyber, but now it's like called Read Between the Lines. You know, like I said, what is this, Wide Awake? I think it's called Wide Awake on the studio album, but like we call it literally Magnus Anus. You know, Shepherd for a Black Sheep, you know, originally was just BS Meter.
Yeah.
So it's like we had an idea what we wanted the name to be, but like I guess like also there's more of an idea, whatever we were feeling that day, I think.
Yeah, dude, I would go through like animals. Like I'll be like, okay, this is tiger. Like when I wrote this is
Yes.
dragon.
Yes.
And just to like I can like know, okay, which one's which.
It's like, what was I feeling this day? Like, what was I doing this
Which
day?
is a slow song, Koala.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, it's dumb, but you got to do that.
I do that all the time. Like, I record a lot at home, and Andy will come over and try to like find something on my computer. He's like, where is everything? I was like, oh, I know exactly where it is. But like the filing system to it, like it just looks crazy.
Yeah.
You know, even on the last album, we had some names for songs. Like, I don't even know if like I can say them because they sound kind of crazier. But at the end of the day, it's like I think what was Sandman originally called? I think Sandman was originally called. Yeah, I think it was like Dreaming.
Okay.
And, you know, I think it was called like Dreaming. I think
that's like that. Honestly, that's one of my favorite songs.
You know what's funny about that song?
What's up, man?
That was a throwaway song. Like, honestly, like we literally sat there and we're just like, let's just have a song with like 4 breakdowns in it. And every other song on that album, we like methodically planned out, like seamless transitions, like everything was so meticulously thought out. And then with Sandman, we were like, we have something here. We need to get it done.
It's my favorite music video.
Oh, that one's amazing.
I think you will agree with me. I think every music video is better than the last one.
Thank you.
They just get better. Like, okay.
A huge.
How much was Sandman, dude? Because that one was crazy. Like you're everywhere. Like you're in like you were like in this big church cathedral type thing.
You know what's crazy about that song? We shot it with green screens. And we were like in Austin. We were in an airport in Austin with like a big old green screen. And I get that comment a lot. That's like, it's like, where were you when you shot this? And I was like, I was in Austin. And they're like, where? It's like this airport hangar in Austin with a green screen. What's crazy?
So was it a huge green screen?
You know what's funny? It felt huge, but Manny was so tall, like he was even sometimes out of frame. Like I could even show you. I probably shouldn't show you, but there's like moments whenever he sits there, like his bass head cuts out because he's so dang tall. He's like 6'3".
But how tall was the thing and wide maybe?
Well, I felt like the green screen was pretty tall, but if the camera's like kind of like here. You know, and then what happened with Manny is he'd pick like his whole bass up. So he's like 6'3", 6'4". So like as soon as he picks his bass up, you know, that bass head's up there at like, you know, a couple feet above that 6'4" mark.
At a plane maybe, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it'd be It was so funny. We didn't realize it till maybe like a year or two later. That videographer was Dustin Dow from Everyone Dies in Utah.
Okay.
What's crazy is I played with him, me, Manny, I even think Chris and Richie, we all played with Everyone Dies in Utah, but in separate bands. What's super crazy about us is we all used to play together at the Rabbit, and we all played the same shows together. We all kind of grew up around each other, and then later on we're all in the we're on the same band now. But
And he's okay. So I don't know much about this guy, other than that he made this music video, and it was y'all's best. I think it's y'all's best music video.
It was crazy because like in the moment, like we're just like, let's just make a heavy song with a bunch of breakdowns, and then I remember I wrote like this one lead for my solo part, and I think I was just playing it safe. The original solo lead over that song, honestly, was not as good. It was just a safe, very like solid sound for the song. But then Andy had this idea. He was like, let's just do one more breakdown, but let's do it slower. And then after we brought that to life, I was like, oh no, I need to retract this. This completely changes everything. Because it literally completed the song. It completed it after that last breakdown, and it just everything else just fell in place, you know?
Yeah.
And it was it's crazy because we worked so much harder on all of the other songs, and that song just it definitely like took off farther than the others.
And was that like I think that's the only. No, was that the only music video of recently that you did with Dow? Or for me, I'm a big visual guy. I'm a huge visual guy.
Yes.
Hence the video podcast.
Yes.
And I kind of like this thing, right? Are y'all gonna work with him in the future that you think?
We already did.
Okay.
So Dustin did the Intimate Torment video, but we had to reshot 2 videos before it. We had shot 2 other videos before it, and we actually shot them all 3 of those videos with Dustin. And we wanted to do like kind of like a little bit of a DIY video. We wanted to do the green screen video again because
But it looks so real, dude. It doesn't look like
he did
I don't
an
know,
amazing
man.
job. And to be honest,
I love this guy, man.
I love him so much. You know, shout out to Dustin.
Is he San Antonio?
No. He I couldn't even tell you where he's from right now. I mean, I want to say Utah, but I'd hate to say it and get it wrong. He's definitely from not Texas, and he drove down. We rented out this place. You know, we rented out the Austin like hangar to shoot Sandman, and then we shot 2 music videos with him a couple months ago, and those songs were one of those Intimate Torment, amazing. I love that song.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Sandman. The other song we shot was Wide Awake, and that song was really, really good, and I really loved his whole vision for that one. That was a little bit more DIY, but it was the first time I got to use an being an infinity screen like music video, which is honestly it's really cool how they set that all up.
Yeah. Intimate Torment, man.
And
that
one?
is y'all's. I think as far as YouTube goes, most successful. I mean, I think it got in 6 days when it came out in January last month. In this case, last month,
It was crazy.
It got like almost 100,000 views, bro.
It did hit 100 within a week.
Yeah.
We've never done that. We had never done that, and it was crazy. We worked individually when we were independent very hard just to get Sandman to like 60K, and it paid off very well in that sense. But it was within a week. Intimate Torment hit 100,000, and
Dude, I'm sure Seek and Strike was like going bananas.
they were very pleased and very happy because we are a very different band on their brand and their label. Like every other band is so much heavier, and every other band, like I love so many of the bands on that label. A lot of those bands are very, very talented, but they're heavier. And whenever we got those results, within that first week, I sat there like, oh man, dude, like this is amazing. Wait till they hear the rest.
Yeah.
I can't wait till Intimate Torment comes out, because if people or the audience really liked Sandman, they're gonna love that song. That was the first song I actually wanted to show you, because to me, it feels different, and I can't think of another band that I can really relate it to. I feel like I said I listen to a lot of music, but I'm not going to lie. Whenever I get into like the writing process, I feel like my entire life is like 20 seconds at a time of like listening to the songs over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it's just like trying to hear like how I can add or maybe not add, or, you know, it's kind of like if I need to be doing something here, does it need it? You know, does it increase like you know, the value of the song? And if it doesn't, it's like, okay, I need to step back and just, you know, let maybe the vocals take this part, or let like the synth do this part. And
y'all got a history with like synths. Like y'all are no stranger because y'all been a band for what? I mean, maybe longer, but 10 years, maybe longer than that.
It's been a ride, and like we've been in other bands together. We've all worked with each other. He's like, I've known Andy since we were 11.
Oh wow!
Funny story. I met Andy when I was in detention.
Oh, let's go.
So I was in detention when we were in 6th grade.
What did you do?
Dude, honestly, I think I had I copied my boys like our test in class, and like we were both getting the same answers wrong, and the teacher was literally like, all right, you both got wrong on the same answers with the same wrong answers. Like, which one of y'all was, you know, cheating on the test? I was like, it was me. It was absolutely.
You're an honest guy.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I sat there and it's kind of like doubled down at that point. I don't want him to get in trouble for helping me, and at the end of the day, he didn't get in trouble, and you know, I just had to go to detention. You know, I got the letter home to my parents. You know, they're obviously disappointed, but it's kind of like if I'm already like in trouble, why make it worse?
Yeah, for sure, man.
You know, and what's funny is, like I said, I wound up doing that. The guy I was cheating on that test with wound up being in a band with Andy later for several years.
Oh.
With one of his old bands, the World Among Us. And I loved that band actually. But I met Andy in there. It was kind of funny because I was sitting next to him, like sitting there doing detention homework, and I'm like, oh man, what are you in here for? And he's like, what do you mean in here for? He's like doing extra credit in there, and I'm like sitting there detention.
Oh, he was doing extra credit?
He was doing extra credit. He was just like in there because, you know, he was just studying, doing extra work and working hard. And I was in there because I, you know, was making poor choices and I needed to learn a lesson. But we wound up meeting each other in that class. And, you know, it's kind of funny how later on we just wound up working together. But man, we've known each other since we were 11. And, you know, honestly, I love that dude. He's one of my longest friends I've ever had.
Yeah, he seems pretty cool, man. I met him one time. We were at Semper Services show at the Paper Tiger.
Man, I wish I went to that. I love Joe.
Yeah.
I love Joe.
Everyone does, man.
How could you not?
Yeah.
How could you not? I mean, once I found out Joe was in that band, you know, I've heard of them before, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like, you know, I've never really played a show with them before, and, you know, I still haven't. I'd love to, but I mean, never played a show with them, so I never knew really what their sound was. And then after Joe was in, I was like, let me see what Joe's doing with these guys. And I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And he's a phenomenal guitarist. He is he's on a different level of like his craft, and you know, he's amazing.
He's a full-time musician, man.
Oh yeah,
full-time.
No, full-time.
If you add up everything, right? If you add up that as well as because he teaches too.
No,
put that in.
Definitely. I mean, like, you know, he's an inspiration to me in that sense. I mean, I teach a lot of guitar lessons. I do like a lot of tech work. I do a lot of different ghostwriting as well. But, you know, he's doing it full time, and I applaud him for it. And I admire that, you know. It's actually
it's crazy, man. He's always scared. Like I don't know if you saw the podcast with him. He was saying like it's kind of scary being in that position. Like, yes, it's not. It's cool. Like that's what you want to do. That's one of the goals, right? But at the same time, it's just like he doesn't know what next month is gonna look like.
No, definitely.
You know,
it's you know, December. I would say, like me as an instructor and a guitar teacher, you know, December's kind of rough because, you know, either students, parents are trying to save money, I'm sure, for Christmas, or there's just so many bills during that December time. And, you know, during like the holiday season, it can definitely, you know, hurt a little bit more when it comes to like that lessons-esque, you know, because it's a luxury, you know, it's a luxury thing, but at the same time, you know, music's important in a lot of different ways. And, you know, having a good teacher is important. You know, you can have someone just sitting there trying to show you whatever and cash a check, or you can actually have a teacher to help elevate you as in where you are from there. You know, you could sit there with anybody and sit there and show them something they don't understand yet, and maybe they can copy it. But teaching them how to manipulate an instrument is, I think, different. Yeah,
man. I love Joe, but I want to hear your songs.
Dude, let me show you real quick.
Yeah, so thanks for coming by.
Hello, everyone.
Thanks for giving me this drip, bro.
Yes.
It's fresh as man.
Thank you. I did not make it.
No,
You
I thought you did.
Props to Sim from the Philippines. Made it.
Yeah,
I don't know what
that's
it
his
is.
name.
Yeah, his name's Sim Robles.
Sim Robles.
I think. Yeah, and he's based out of the Philippines. There's something about Indonesian and Filipino artists that just really know the style, you know, for like core bands, I think.
Here, let's get that mic in there.
Yeah.
Can't hear you.
Oh. Yeah, no, that was made by Sim Robles from the Philippines. And, yeah, like I said, there's just something about, like, artists from Southeast Asia that really just, like, they do a great job at, you know, just doing, like, core shirts and stuff. And we love working with him. We've done a lot of designs with him, and we have a whole new set of merch actually coming out with most of the designs coming from him, too. So
Hell yeah.
I appreciate that.
We should go visit him sometime. What do you say?
I want to. He's in Cebu, but you know, I need to renew my passport. I think.
You need one of those?
I think you probably do. If you want to get home, at least.
Want to get home at least? Yeah. But what's going on? What's going on? How you been?
Oh,
Mr. Andy How do you say? Is it Alderson?
Alderson.
Alderson.
So like an alder, but then a son of an alder. Yes. No, it's been going. We've been busy. I've been busy. We've been working on our tour that's coming up. Starts February 28th. Studio 210. And then it's going all the way till April 11th.
Nice.
Yeah. So
You excited, man? That's pretty crazy.
Oh man, I'm stressed.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, they get to be excited. You know, I'm the one that does all the logistics. So for me, it's nothing but stress. For them, it's like, wow, we're traveling.
Oh, look at tower. Look at
that. Look at that. I'm over here like, it's the venue.
No help.
Dude, you're a German. I can tell that.
Oh yeah.
I have an obsessive nature.
Dude, me too.
Most vocalists have to, though, because if you think about it, how many bands really look for vocalists? You know, I think a lot of us started because we wanted to be in a band. And as a result,
You're good, bro.
I can come up and give it some more love if you want. No. Yeah, no, I think that, like, you know, there's a drive there for a lot of vocalists, but at the end of the day, I mean, it takes multiple members to be in a band, you know?
Definitely.
And if I was the only one with drive, then this definitely wouldn't be a thing. But I appreciate the compliment nonetheless. I mean, I gotta give props up to everyone else though in the band because they gotta put up with me. You know what I mean? If you say that I have a lot of drive, that means that a lot of the guys are gonna are getting whipped in the back kind of thing.
I don't know, man. Maybe, but maybe not, because he was telling me that how y'all met, and y'all met at a detention / further education, if you will.
Oh yeah, no, we met in middle school. It's crazy. I would have never thought you would have sent me to 6th grade, dude.
I would have never thought.
I'd have never thought that I'd be in a band with this guy, signed to a record label, going on tour and stuff. It definitely would have. We rode the bus together for a while.
Dude, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, it's just weird. Yeah, it's a wild coincidence. We're really lucky, especially me, because everyone I've known in the band, with the exception of Richie, I've known since like school.
Yeah.
Middle school, high school. Oh, it's Oreo.
Got the boys.
Yeah.
It's the boys.
All 4 boys.
Let's go, boys.
That's all we need.
I just commissioned some new merch for a satanic cat.
Oh shit.
So
Glad you
it's
threw with
perfect
that.
Perfect timing.
thematics. Perfect thematics.
Glad you went through with that.
Yeah, well, no one answered me in the band chat. I was like, hey, do you guys care if I commission another shirt for us that's satanic cat? Nobody replied.
That's a yes.
I'm gonna do it anyways.
Were you really waiting for our confirmation, or were you you're gonna do it anyways? Did it matter what we said?
I like to think that I wait for them to give me the green light.
Mm-hmm.
I try, but all the guys live lives, busy lives, and do a lot of different things. So I make the calls that I have to when I have to make the calls. Yeah.
Dude, the last, I guess, what was it? Sandman was my favorite video. But I will say, Glass Castles is my favorite song so far. Personally, I'm not speaking for the world.
You're definitely a guitarist.
I mean, the melody is fantastic.
Of course, you're a guitarist. I mean, that would make sense. Yeah, it's a guitarist song for sure.
That one was seamless.
What the crystal sounds, like the synth crystal sounds, matching the vocals on who is it? Is it on Chris, right? Chris Secrets? Is it French? Is it?
It's made up.
It's been,
Yeah.
It's secret. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I don't know. I've never actually said his name.
Chris.
Yeah, it's Christmas. If you really want to call him what we call him, it's Christmas.
yeah.
No, it's Chris Secret.
Chris Secret.
But you know, what's fun though is I think we actually we did those synths even because some of the synths our producers did. But I think those specifically we did as well, which would make sense because we did the melodies.
I feel like you did a lot of the synths too, and especially anthologies.
Danny Warsnap.
You're a big synth guy.
I'm a massive synth guy. It's funny, a lot of even though I scream, a lot of like the softer elements typically come from me because I like that. I really like the contrast. You know, the soft stuff comes more like innate to me rather than the heavy stuff. But I scream. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man.
I don't even listen to that much metal, I gotta be honest.
Cool. No, he was showing me that, or he was telling me that you can sing too. Like you can actually legitimately sing. Can we talk about that?
I can kind of sing.
Yeah.
Only thanks to Chris Secret.
He taught you a little bit.
Yeah, well, I taught him how to scream. I think he picked up more on the screaming than I picked up on the singing, though.
But y'all tried bartering a little bit.
Yeah, we used to go to karaoke a lot. When the band was on hiatus, we went to karaoke pretty much every single weekend, like Friday and Saturday.
Oh, let's go.
It was the way to get out like that need to like play while we were kind of writing and stuff. And you know, I was never really good at singing. I wanted to be a singer when I was younger, and I remember.
I think he's a pretty good singer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to bank on it. I'll put it that way. I like screaming, and one thing I like about screaming is I feel like it's such a new medium that, you know, there's a lot to pioneer there, and I would love to be on like the forefront of that, you know?
No, I mean you're a showman, man, and you know who you are, and you can't change that.
I've made peace with who I am, man.
Yeah, yeah, that's good, man. But this has been fun, man. I mean, I didn't know you were gonna come by. He was like, oh yeah, by the way. Yeah,
I was really hoping he wasn't texting you during the interview to come by.
No, we've been like kind of like being interrupted. We peed at least six times throughout this interview.
I did it in the middle of one of those pee breaks.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, I see all the Bud Light cans. That'll wear it through.
What Bud Light cans? No, but this is really cool, man. Dude, yeah, he told me February 20th is when is it EP? Is it an EP?
Yeah, the new EP comes out.
It's coming out. So by the time this comes out, it'll be out. Yeah. So we can talk about it freely if you want.
Okay, yeah, no, we can. Yeah, no, that's cool. If we don't have to worry about it, then let's run it. Here, one second. Let me shoot this real quick.
Do you, bro? Let's go.
This one will be edited out.
I know a bit more about the release than he does, so that works. All right, I'm ready when you are.
All right, so Danny Worsnob, welcome to the podcast, sir.
Thank you. It's lovely to have me. That's a Danny Worsnob quote right there, I swear.
Facts, dude. But dude, who are your I don't know. I feel like Rob's Metalworks right now, like having a group of guys like sitting down. It's just not like what I'm used to, you know what I'm saying? Like It's just kind of different. But yeah, anyways, I had, just for the people out there, I had another mic. I had two mics, but I was trying to get you on the mic, but the camera mic wasn't working, and I'm gonna get that fixed. So it is what it is. But anyways,
it creates a bit more intimacy between Marco and I to just have to use the same one. Yeah, this man has a child that he has a lovely relationship with his mother or her mother. So I would hate to have to sully that. But what happens on tour stays on tour.
No, she's actually super amazing. She's very supportive too.
That's good.
Yeah, no, she's been like super supportive throughout the whole ride, and I honestly, it definitely helps everything at the end because, we were talking about Joe earlier and how he made the leap to full-time musician, and dude, it's a scary leap, and her being very supportive in everything I'm doing right now, it's a huge, it definitely helps a lot, with like the whole like what I think I should be doing versus what I know I can do.
Dude, how has Foreword changed over the last year or so? Do you think it has changed?
Oh. Yes.
We've learned a lot.
We make a lot more like TikToks than we used to.
You dance more.
Yeah, exactly. No,
It's different. It's a different age.
it's man, there's so many great things about it and so many like kind of like things we wouldn't have expected. It's really nice to treat this more as of a profession. We have people we answer to now, which is nice. Whereas before, it's just kind of like
right.
we're climbing a mountain that is just us. That's the one pulling it. But now we have a bit of support, which is really nice. Booking a tour and going on tour, that's like such a crazy thing for us too.
A lot of work.
But it's a lot of work. Yeah, it's weird. It's like this is a full-time job now, which sucks because all of us have full-time jobs. Because as Margaret was saying, we're kind of in that intermediate stage. We're making a big leap, and at some point we're going to be jumping over that canyon where it's like, all right, now we're leaving that stability to try to get to the stability on the other side, but there's going to be that gap where we're kind of just up in the air about it, and that's kind of where we're heading towards right now. But yeah, it's definitely changed a lot, and the guys have changed a lot too.
Yeah, this guy's telling me because he had a kid, so he was just like, dude, like I'm like he told me he aged like 10 years.
Oh yeah,
not aged.
You can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
it's crazy, man.
I feel like I look like 45 now versus.
I mean, I didn't mean like that. I mean like
I'm
you mentally you leveled up. Is what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
One would hope. He's still the prettiest one in the band, though, which is the fucking most, infuriating part of all of it.
I mean, I think Richie's pretty handsome, but
yeah, a little bit, right?
nah, he's definitely
A lot of it.
He gets you in yeah. Anyways, dude.
For the people.
Oh my gosh.
This is how attractive Richie is.
His thirst traps.
No, he's
Does he have like
he's
a,
my
like,
screensaver.
oh, that's hot.
Yeah, dude. He you probably can't see it that far away.
Send it to me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send.
Yeah,
I can send you some actual thirst traps.
Yeah.
I got you, dog.
Yeah, does he have like a does he have like a drum fans, like OnlyFans but drum fans, like you know what I'm saying?
The unfortunate thing is that like we exclusively only get the thirst straps.
Yeah.
So we'll be in a public place and out of nowhere, we're like, damn, Richie, like give us some warning first.
Yeah, it's proprietary.
That's probably what it is. Yeah.
How's working with Chris Bowerman?
Corey Brenneman.
Oh, sorry, I'm gonna cut this out.
Yeah, you good.
Hey, how's working with Corey Brenneman?
It was amazing.
Yeah, no, major props to Corey. I've known him for a long time. Very long time.
How long we talking, man?
A long time. Since I was in high school, dude, and I'm about to be 31 next week.
Oh, let's go.
So like he first recorded me, I think when I was like 16 or 17, dude. He came to my our bandmate's house on our very first recording way back in like 2000 and like 12 or 11, and to see him like get where he's at has just been awesome. And now with the skills he has to kind of come back around full circle, it's been awesome. I mean, he killed the fucking mix.
100%.
I love how crisp you hear everything, but it just punches you in the face constantly.
It's very important.
It's like how I like my women, spicy and heavy. Yeah, exactly. No, but it was great. One thing that we really liked about him is, and we went into with, we gave him like some power to say no. So if there was something that maybe he was like, "That's I don't think it's what you're going for. I don't think it's gonna work," he'd be like, "We're not gonna do that." We equally had some no power, but honestly, it was really nice, kind of like we said, like giving up a little bit of ourselves to,
Trust him.
yeah, to trust him and like, help us elevate our sound. And he absolutely killed it. So props to Corey Brunnerman.
So like, what do you do like from like the very beginning? Do you tell them like, hey, this is who we are, this is the songs that we've made in the past, and this is how we're going forward? And does he kind of like analyze that, just kind of like
That's a pretty good way. Yeah, that's a great way of like putting it. I mean, we came in with pre-pro, and we were like, these are the songs that were like at least the vibes we're going for each of the songs. Because we did basically end up just rewriting everything in the studio. Same vibes, same initial riffs and everything, but totally different. But we were like, look, and I gave him a really long Google Doc explaining what we were going for. And what was really cool about that is that he too at the time, or currently, is also experimenting with some of the sounds we wanted, because I don't know if you guys talked about this, some of our big inspirations were like video game soundtracks. Yeah, so like Doom, for example, that Argent metal, like chainsaw sounding guitar and everything was like a big thing for us. And then like Cyberpunk, like just those like little breaks and everything. And Corey's got great synth work. And so that did a really good job, like meshing with the guitar and, finding those elements to blend together.
I definitely would say, I think Corey, honestly, I think he really did listen to like our old music that we did work on, because I think he was definitely trying to use every bandmate for their strengths as well, It was really nice to have him take a lot of, lead and direction on certain things, but then he would also sit there and be like, all right, I need you to do this for me, because this is your strong suit and your strong side. And I mean, I was telling Nick earlier, my favorite thing about him is he was telling us no. You know?
Yeah.
I think that was very important.
I think a good producer says no.
Yeah, 100%. And then y'all worked with Chris Mora too, maybe once or twice.
We worked with Chris Mora for the whole last album, and
yeah,
that was amazing. It was amazing to work with Mora. He's literally a wizard with his production skills, and he has very unique ideas as well.
Is he like is he a no guy, or is he like a maybe guy, or like a yes guy, or is he like, he's not a yes guy, right?
No, not like that. I would say Mora is very much more of like, do it again. Try it again.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I would say, to build off of that, Mora, I think he can see where you're going, and he's looking to build off of where you're going. Oh. With Corey, I felt like it was, more of, I think where you think you're going.
Okay.
But maybe not necessarily where you think you're trying to get to.
So I feel like Corey's more of like a roadmap. Like he takes the map and he takes where you came from, where you're going for, and he kind of like analyzes that on a bigger scale. Versus Chris Mora, he's more in real time, in a way.
It's like making the path as it goes.
And I'm not saying there's one better than the other. I'm just saying that everyone's different.
Yeah.
I'm different than like the next podcaster, Rob's Metalworks, for better or for worse.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But to your point, yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
Well, and I think that's kind of, we just wanted, ultimately to kind of, because I think a lot of us, I mean, in all honesty, a lot of us are really insecure about our music writing abilities.
Humbleness is
I don't know if I would call it humbleness. We just really are insecure about our writing abilities, and so that's why we love working with producers, because to get a second, or a third party, ears on it, and like somebody to help us guide our vision is something that's really important to us. And Mora, he gave it to us one way. And then Corey gave it to us another way, and we're happy with both. We will say, I mean, props out to Mora. It took us like 2.5 years to do our album. I don't know if Marco said that.
I don't think so. Right?
No.
Yeah.
Well, COVID happened.
Yeah.
So that was a big part of it, but also too, it's just expensive. And before we weren't having a lot of assistance, and so we would do these like 6 months intervals of we'd write 3 songs, track 3 songs, go to the next, and then you have to deal with my impetuous ass because I am a bit anal about very small details.
You know what
It means you care.
like I was saying, like you have a very clear, idea of what you want.
You want a towel, by the way?
Yeah, it's not your fault. I have a pituitary gland problem. No, I'm just kidding.
It's okay. We accept all pituitaries.
Like I was saying, Andy, like I think you have a very clear idea of like what you want and you expect for Forward, and like honestly, I back you 100% on that. I was telling him like earlier that like how many different leads I written for like all the songs and how many of them weren't used, and it's like I didn't think they were bad, but they weren't necessarily Forward. You know what I mean? Like, it's not Marco and the homies, it's Forward.
I'll say this. I think a lot of the guys overplay that narrative, because frankly, I would be nothing without any of the other bandmates, because I can't do this. Like I can't play guitar like Marco can.
Nobody can. I mean, people can't play like Chris can. People can't play like Richie can. People, can't, play like, and even beyond playing,
There's Manny.
Exactly, because moving backwards, Manny, he plays bass, and a lot of people downplay the bass, but no, Manny has this massive influence on the writing.
He's a very key composer.
He's great at writing, and everyone, in addition to their playing abilities, has a view and a perspective and an ability to manifest a sound that me personally, I don't feel like I can. So I mean, I would say I don't have a particular vision of Forward as much as I have a vague version that I rely on these guys to help, I guess, manifest. Because also, too, again, I'm very insecure. I don't think my vision is necessarily the right vision. Will I fight for my vision? Probably. But it doesn't mean that I think I'm right. And I like the fact that there's a discourse amongst being a band, where you're going back and forth and you're building off of each other's perspectives, because frankly, if it was my ideas all the time, if it was the specific little things, because I don't play guitar, I don't drum, the music would probably sound like shit. You know what I mean?
Still music.
It's still music, but it would probably sound like shit. But I feel like we sound a whole lot better when I give the reins and be like, hey, what are you guys feeling? What do you, so I think, at the end of the day.
Do you play anything? Have you ever played an instrument?
So I played cello in middle school.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah. I don't remember any of it.
Okay.
Marco taught me a chord progression recently. And then Manny taught me how to do a chord progression on the piano that gets all the ladies.
Let's go.
The panty dropper.
Yeah. 4 chords, baby.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
That's a whole album right there. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean,
that's Taylor Swift.
It's funny. I've always thought of myself as more of more just a lyricist,
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really nice that you kind of stay in your lane in a way, as far as musically speaking.
Oh, I know bands
that's
where,
cool, man.
yeah,
that's really cool.
I know bands where one member will just take over everything.
Yeah, well, that's not a band.
It's not a band. This isn't my friend. This is my bandmate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, on stage at least. We don't know what's going on behind stage.
No, he's still my bandmate, but that's why he gets a little gay.
Yeah.
Because you got to be a little gay to be in a band.
Yeah.
Just a wee bit.
That's cool, man. Thanks for sharing that. That's really nice. I really appreciate that, man.
I think I even mentioned a little bit earlier is that all of us definitely have our own role. We definitely have our own compliments, and we definitely help elevate things to where I think they need to be elevated. I don't think anybody's ever trying to oversaturate or show off in any parts. I think everybody's literally just trying to help make that sound that we all hear come into fruition and just come to light. And it's really nice. You know, where, you know, you could say you feel insecure. I think you're a badass, but at the end of the day, you know, like,
I think you're a badass, man.
I appreciate that. And, you know, it's also like, you know, whenever we were writing all the leads together, you know, we were sitting there literally writing the leads together. I was telling him about that process, what we did. And it was like, I don't think this sounds bad, but if it's necessarily not the vision of Foreword, it's not that it's bad. It's just we need something different. And I was telling him how it pushed me to a different level that I'm happy to be at. You know, it helped me elevate myself as like an artist and a player. You know, and you know, it just honestly in the end it just made me better. Is what I was telling him earlier.
That's nice, man, dude. Can we talk about real quick? Okay, on Glass. I hate to bring it up again,
Yeah,
but Glass Castles.
Go for it.
Glass Castles, the music video. Was it the same? Okay, who shot that? Is that a real place or is
Yes.
that a green screen?
Yes, no, that was a real place.
It's like an old Spanish castle type vibe going.
That was at Newman's Castle.
Yeah.
what?
So it's Newman's Castle. It's in Beeville, Texas. Middle of nowhere. It literally is this gentleman who owns a bakery, inherited some money from his family, I guess, and decided to build a castle for his home.
Okay. How old is this castle? Do you know that much about it?
It's like 30 years old.
Oh, it's like
literally, dude. It's made of plaster, dog. Like it's made of plaster and cement. And I'm a nerd. I know a lot about history. I'll tell you this right now.
for real?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I can tell. It's the beard.
Thank you. I try to be distinguished in my look, you know.
Yeah.
Or homeless.
Oh,
So castles are built with stone because they're porous, which allows it to have this natural, like, kind of cooling effect on them, which is why, you know, castles are really cool if you've ever been inside one. Plaster and cement is not porous. It's so hot, and we shot that in fucking July. We are the dumbest. We shot going under those pool scenes when we were underwater.
Yeah,
we shot that in February.
Yeah.
We have a terrible fucking habit of shooting videos that are inconvenient for the type of season it is. It was very hot. I think it was probably the most painful shoot we've ever done.
That one was hot.
Yeah, it was hot. The guy that owned it, R.I.P. He passed away this year.
that's crazy.
Yeah, but he didn't even really know why we were there, even.
What?
Dude, yeah, no.
How did y'all find this spot?
All right, so I'm like, all right, we want to shoot a video for Glass Castles. It's got to be a castle.
It's gotta be castle.
So I kind of figured I would have. Sorry, I got a little bit of a cold today.
It's all right, man. Going around.
So I'm like, okay, I just start Googling like Texas castles. And so I just started looking for places that were castles. And there were some pretty cool places. And I talked to a couple places, most of them wedding venues.
I can see that.
Yeah, but those are expensive. There's things like that. They're expensive. They're wedding venues. I tried to look for interiors that would work. And I found this place. And we almost went to the Ren Fair outside of Houston.
Rim Fair.
Yeah, like the Renaissance Fair.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, so we almost did that. But the problem with that I didn't like is there is a lot of signage.
Oh, okay.
You know, for like the booths and
Got it.
everything. And, you know.
It's meant for a crowd.
Exactly. So we found this place and we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into at all. We did not know this was a private residence.
Like a dude's home.
Yeah, it's this dude's home. We found like a number for somebody that rents it out for like events. But again, it wasn't the guy that owns it. And we showed up before the guy that booked us out there was there. And we walked in there just kind of scouting out the place. And the guy was like, why the fuck are you in our home?
So, okay. Go on.
Yeah, no. And it was like, oh, we're shooting a video here. So-and-so, you know, booked us. And he's like, why are you here? And we were like, what the hell is happening now? And then the guy eventually showed up, talked to the dude. It worked itself out for the most part.
It was a rough shoot.
It was a rough shoot, though. It was hot. I had like a stomach virus.
Wow.
So there's a scene where like I'm in a cage.
Yeah. But it's my favorite one.
Yeah.
I
needed to shit myself the whole time I was in there. And the bathroom itself, you can imagine. You know, the funny thing is, this guy, also a very history-oriented individual, with the exception of using stone. And, you know, everything had to be authentic. He even had like a castle dog.
A dog?
Yeah, so castles would have like dogs to like scare away like shit, you know?
Like you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
He was doing his best job.
Like the shaggy looking, you know, like, you know, you'd see like a movie.
How was the bark? Was it like a, hey, was it like a bark or was it like a...
Very quiet dog, actually. He was a terrible castle dog.
Okay.
But the problem is he kept walking into shots.
Yeah.
Oh.
He kept walking into shots, and we were told we can't tell him no.
Oh, that's fucked.
So we were like, I guess we're just dealing with this.
That's interesting.
It was a very eclectic experience.
But honestly, like the video came out like really good.
Brandon Brumley.
Yeah.
Major props. U.S. Vet. Thank you for your service.
Is he Bad Mantra still?
Yes.
Yes, he is still Bad Mantra.
I've heard of Bad Mantra before. I didn't know.
He's great. He's great.
The guy. Yeah.
I love everyone we've ever worked with, honestly. We've been very lucky.
I was telling him about Dustin earlier. So we were talking about the Sandman video earlier. Mm-hmm. And then, like, he was like, where'd y'all shoot that? Like, where'd y'all shoot and find a place like that? I was like, you know what's crazy? I was on an Austin airport with some green screens. And like, that's just how amazing, you know, Dustin did. And honestly, I think ever since we worked with him, you know, we've been pretty, you know, we've been stuck on with Dustin. Dude, tell him about the Will There Survive video. We haven't got to talk about that one. That was the craziest experience I think we've had as humans.
Will There Survive music video.
Yes.
So, to that note, for some of us,
Keep going with this.
you're good. So the Will to Survive, we shot that at inadvertently the most haunted place in Texas.
Super haunted.
We did not know that it was ranked #1 of the most haunted places in Texas when we shot there.
We needed the cage, the jail cell.
Yeah, we wanted a jail cell. We wanted it to look creepy. And our video director, Wayne Fow at the time, props to Wayne, found the location, and he did not know either that it was that haunted. And I'm not a very like superstitious person, but let's just say we all went home with really obscure bruises. A lot of weird things happened. But the worst part about it was the asbestos. Like, it was such a rundown place that by the time we left, all of us had just like dust and asbestos caked in our noses and inside of our lips. And we probably took about 20 years off of our life to shoot that video.
Maybe more. Yeah, no, what got me is we showed up over there needing a cage. And it was hot outside. I think it was November. And we go inside, it's ice cold. There's not a single bug in this dilapidated building. And like, there's no doors or windows. There's not a single bug. It's cold in there. You know, there was some weird things kind of like, honestly, just going on. And we're eventually sitting there like, well, that's weird. What is it, about 4 or 5 hours into the shoot, we figured out that the place was actually haunted. And we're sitting there like,
Tell about the group after us.
So how long do you think we shot there? Like 10 hours?
No, I would say like 6.
So we shot like a 6-hour video over there, and as soon as we're leaving, there's like a paranormal activity crew going in there. They're like, "Hey, this place was super weird. Do you know anything about this place?" Like, "Oh yeah, we shoot a bunch of content here. Like we catch like apparitions and ghosts here all the time." And we're like, "Okay, well that makes a lot of sense. 'Cause I'm pretty sure we're all either like hexed or cursed or probably have a friend or two following us." But no, it was actually a super weird experience overall, just with everything that happened. Like the classic, like hearing noises in the other room and no one's there, footsteps in the other room.
Did y'all hear anything personally?
Oh, yeah. I did. Oh, yeah.
So the weirdest part was our bassist, Manny, came home and he literally had a bruise that was a bite mark, and you could count each tooth to the tooth, and it was just right on his arm. And we all just got home and we just had bruises everywhere.
We're all wearing leather jackets.
Yeah, it made no sense that we were all bruised up for no reason. And yeah, it was. I think even like Ghost Hunters went there once. Yeah.
Zach Bagans.
Yeah.
The muscles.
Oh no!
The full gear.
No, the dude, the bald dude.
Bald dude
And his partner had brown hair. Oh, I'd have to remember.
I'm thinking.
I'm thinking sci-fi. Oh. Yeah, this was back when sci-fi was good.
So this is in where's this at again?
New York?
Oh, New York.
Was it no like New York? Not like
Roughly. It doesn't be exact.
Yorktown, Memorial Hospital.
And did y'all like believe in ghosts before this event?
I don't, but now I probably do.
Yeah, no, I mean, not. I mean, I want to say like I never necessarily doubted it or believed it. After that, it was like there was no other explanation after experiencing that. Like, it was just all too weird.
Really?
It was just super weird. And then some of the other things that we just found and saw there, you know, we probably should not have messed with. But I mean, we were having good fun.
Yeah.
Like at one point, I found a jar of human teeth in the shock room.
Did you keep it?
Actually, I shook it like a maraca and danced with it.
Next, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that caused at least like a couple year or two of bad luck.
There's a lot of tooth fairies, man.
That video's on our Instagram.
Is it really?
It really is.
Okay.
And at that point, I don't even think we knew the place was like haunted. Like I think at that point we were just like having fun, just messing with things, touching everything we saw.
Was he a dentist?
Oh,
way worse.
It was the shock room, so that was like it was like right next to, like all the mouth guards that they'd give the people, and they would just shock them. Because it was originally a hospital, and I think a rehab center.
So originally it was a nunnery, right? So they would give like women care and stuff.
Like a Target, maybe.
Yeah, so like an abbess kind of thing, and for the first generation of it, they would do like women's health care. There's some stories about like how like a nun got pregnant by like a priest, and then they like aborted the babies and like burned them, and like because there's furnaces downstairs too for the bodies, and then it turned into a mental hospital. Also, too, if you want to finish with Marco, just like solo too, I'm not stressing.
I think we can end it once he gets back.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm good.
We've been running for like
2-3 hours.
Well,
you guys, I mean,
on and off about 2 hours, 2 and 10 hours. Yeah,
whatever
2 hours,
footage you need, I'll get you it. I'm the guy that gets you what you need.
No, I think you have a great storytell in general, and it's pretty fun. It's been pretty fun. He's been fun too by himself. But you coming on here was like next level, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But I also am a piece of shit, so just keep that in mind.
I will.
I try really hard to not be. But I took my meds today.
It's the weekend. You can be whatever you want.
Yay! I have a bottle in my car. Let's do some shots.
Sounds good.
No, thanks for repping the merch, by the way, dog.
Dude, it's fucking fire, dude.
No, I appreciate it. I'm a big Dune fan. I don't know if you can tell.
Stay a picture right there.
I'm a nerd. So.
What's up?
You have kids?
Not yet.
Lucky you.
Do you have kids?
Fuck no.
You want to come in here?
I'm about to,
Yeah.
I mean, who would want to procreate with this? I'm a 31-year-old in a band.
Hey, be surprised.
Wait, so you said no, right?
Nah.
Yeah, me neither. I'm 31 too, so I'm ahead of you. I'm ahead of you by a year.
Yeah, I turned 31 next week, actually.
I'm 31 too.
So
we're all 31. Okay, good deal.
Yeah.
Oh my god! What?
This is a really fun episode.
This has been
Dude,
fun.
a lot's gone on in 2 hours and 15 minutes.
It's crazy.
Not everything's gonna make it, obviously, because we had gaps and stuff. But I'm just saying, like, this was a very fun episode. Thank you both for coming on. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Is there anything else that we should be expecting? I mean, the EP will be out after. I'm sorry, before this episode comes on.
Okay.
But is there anything else that we can expect as a world, like in general, from Foreword?
EP tour. If we could do like a shout out, like, hey, make sure you check out, our EP Exposition Out Now.
What's the name of the EP, by the way?
So the name of the EP is Exposition.
Oh, well, you said it before.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. I just, yeah, it's Exposition.
I thought it was like a fancy like way to say it in EP. Like it's it's exposition or something. I don't know.
Man, we're douchebags for coming up with that name.
What does exposition exactly mean again? That's definitely one of the things I was just like, okay, I agree with this, because that's not like, you're my word, dude. Like, half the time he says something like, okay, I don't even know what that means. Like, what does that mean?
I think it's like a part of it. It means that you're looking forward to something. Like you're looking at something and it tells you like what it's about.
Yeah, so it's positional, right? So that's the position part, and the expo is externally. So it's externally like viewing the position of something, and you typically use it in the terms of like people, right? So like an exposition would be like setting up a story for something. You know, it's like the background of a story. Because you're trying to understand the position of where someone is. So the exposition would be essentially the background as to why that is, which is actually kind of what the EP is about. It's all stories and things that like I've gone through to get me to the raggedy piece of shit I am today. And so in itself, it is an exposition. And we try to do some wordplay with, you know, storytelling because of the name Foreword, you know?
Yeah, I mean forward in general, like because I know it's spelled uniquely. It's not like moving forward. It's more like an introductory like credibility type of thing, like in a book.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's you. No, is that all you? Like the name?
Oh, that's a weird story. That's a story.
What's the story?
That's a story. If you have time,
Can you wrap it up in like 5 minutes?
I can wrap it up in one.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right. So we actually inherited the name. So I was in a band called The World Among Us. And then I started this band with these guys. Things went south at some point. It's always after you get introduced to like a label, because we were talking to a label, and then they wanted to do something different. I disagreed with it. I got kicked out. I went to these. I joined another band. We did some other stuff, but then we weren't happy with that. Those guys reached back out to me and wanted to do something again. They had already converted the World Among Us page to Foreword, and it was also one of the pages I had helped create. So I was cool with us, going back to that, but they wanted to call it Foreword. I gotta be honest, none of us are very keen on the name.
Okay.
You would be very surprised as to how many people misspell Foreword. There's like 5 or 6 different spellings we've seen.
And also, not only that, but there's like 10 bands named Foreword.
Are there?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, there's a hardcore band with all caps named Foreword, and then there's a band with the with an E in Foreword. Are y'all with an E or?
Yeah, we're with an E.
Okay, there's the one without an E. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah. So it's just weird, yeah. But we inherited it, and it's just something that like because it was a part of the band I had previously been in that I worked really hard on building like that audience. We just kind of just stuck with it, and so that's how we got the word Foreword. But we like.
It carried.
Yeah, we had never released anything with. So those guys that I got back into the band with Foreword, this is before Marco had joined. We never did anything, and they left, and it was just me, our bassist Manny, and our guitarist. No, Chris wasn't in the band yet. It was just me and Manny. We decided to carry it on. And we pulled in Chris, we pulled in Marco. We had another drummer named Aaron. We still love Aaron. Then Richie joined, and that's just kind of how it happened. It's just kind of all just circumstantial,
Yeah. It's not as deep, but there's a good story behind it.
It's not deep. It's literally just
accepting.
It's just what. Yeah, exactly. We were like, all right, well, I helped build this page to like 20,000 followers.
That's cool.
I'm not gonna like abandon it just for a name, you know?
Yeah, man, for sure, man. You moving forward.
Wow, I've never heard that one before.
I know, right?
Yeah, I heard it either, actually.
Man, y'all are gonna move forward.
We're moving forward in life here. No, but we've been lucky enough to where we've had the opportunity to do like our first EP was prologues and preambles.
Which is fire, by the way.
Thank you.
It's fucking crazy, bro.
That's so long ago. It's so wild that that's 2016. That's 10 years ago. We've been a band for 10 years. Fuck, I'm getting old.
I think we all are. I mean, we're on the same timeline.
Oh man, I know. I was gonna say though, and then we got to do anthologies. So there's always literary motifs. But so I'm trying to be egalitarian about this.
Sharing is caring.
I'm a very big egalitarian.
That's fair. When you come back, there's gonna be more mics, and we're gonna have this all situated.
No, hey, post EP, man. I'll tell you, we're about to blow the fuck up. No,
for sure, dude. Yes. What
did you show him? Did you show him the whole EP?
Show him
everything. Yeah. But dude, what was that one music video that just blew up in like a week? It had like 100,000 views. It was like the most recent one. In January.
An Intimate Torment.
That one was just, I don't know, man.
That's so funny because we pulled that out of our ass. Like we were not gonna shoot that. We were not gonna do that song. We even wrote a whole other song that was gonna be the single for the first single.
Wow.
And then we were like, we don't like this as much as we like this other one. And we were like, well, shit, we already shot a music video for that one.
Do you know like why that blew up?
Fuck no.
I figured.
We don't know what any success we have. It's kind of weird. We don't really know where it comes from.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll be something like we'll get an interview or we'll get like a reaction page. That'll do it. I mean, our label released it. And so that was one of the first videos under our label that released that, we've done. So I'm assuming it's mostly their audience. But yeah, no, I mean, we're
that's not the first song under Seek and Strike for y'all to release. Or music video.
No, but I'll be honest though, like when we released the album, I don't think that like they were banking on the album that we released. I think they knew that we had more in the chamber to come out with and write. And so
that's your job, right? It's to see like the projection.
Well, exactly. They told us that. They were like, like we knew that you guys have been sitting on this for a while, and maybe it's not like what's like as much popping as like, what was popping when Sandman came out. But we believe in you guys. We think you guys are going to do well. And, I think we at least got there for this time. Mm-hmm. And so now we just got to do it again. But yeah, no.
I think just do whatever worked and kind of use a lot of that.
We always try to use the less. So there's two elements that I like to keep in mind. Number one, learn from what's working, but also never compromise like what kind of music you want to make.
Right, for
you
sure.
know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah. Because I think there's a trueness that comes through you writing music that speaks to you. Mm-hmm. And if it speaks to you, it speaks to someone else.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, that's very deep and shit, but like on like in superficial level, like if it's the music video, yes, use that, or if it was the songwriting, use that. Like it could be a member of everything. I don't know what it is.
I think it's the lyrics hurt so fucking bad. People have to listen to it again.
Probably, man.
I mean, like there's a line in there. One of my favorite lines is like, I bet he's lying next to. I bet he's lying next to you, trying to catch his breath. This is my intimate torment. And I'm like, damn, man. Even I want to cry thinking about that.
Which one is it? The new one's Read Between the Lines. I was telling him earlier how like we have like our pre-pro nicknames, and then we also have like our studio names. It's
That's
Cyber.
Always a transit. No,
Cyber Read Between the Lines, right?
Yeah, that'd be Read Between the Lines.
Those lyrics honestly resonate
yeah.
so much in me. And I feel like that was a very experimental song on our end. Like we definitely did a lot of different things for that specific song, but the lyrics
are vague enough to like make you think a little bit, but are also like, yeah, But yes, it's kind of direct in a way. Like for me, because I have a history of dating toxic Latinas, it makes me want to come back to them.
He gets you.
Oh, white boy that grew up in San Antonio, Texas, sir.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
So, like, what do you think, man? Like, this is my life. This is my history, man.
Yeah.
I just love the Latinas. I love a little bit of pain, but a little bit of kiss you after.
I gotta be honest though, like ever since like that, for me, I can't date Hispanic girls anymore.
I'm addicted, man.
Hey,
I'm addicted.
More for you.
Oh, man.
If they ever swipe right on me, I'm gonna tell them about you. Is that
I
okay?
feel like I know a guy in a band.
Oh God.
I'm just saying. But no, this is really fun, guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, we talked about a lot of stuff, and we did a lot of stuff in this episode. It was very interesting. Like we did a lot of stuff that I didn't think was gonna happen. You showed up. This showed up. I wish we had more mics. That they will be ready next time. But nonetheless, though, I think we should end it here.
No, that's fine.
I think
This has been one of my
that's good.
funnest interviews, man. Normally I worry about things, but you made it really like.
Oh, I appreciate that, man.
No, yeah, you made it really like chill. I appreciate that too.
I was telling how I'm normally not allowed to do these, but
Well, not with me. There's a tendency to throw me under the fucking bus.
hey, I did good today.
I'm glad.
I did good today.
No, I think he did. Honestly, like it was pretty fun. It was fun and professional and shit. Like it was like how Seek and Strike would have wanted to happen. I'm just saying.
Say it.
Thank you, Nick.
Send us off,
Thank you,
yeah.
Nick, for having us on here. Thank you, Nick. You know, I hope the best for this. This has been so fun. You know, thank you for having us, man. Shout out to Seek and Strike. If you haven't already, make sure you check out our new EP. You know, Exposition will be out by the air of this video, and we all worked incredibly hard on it. And dude, again, thank you for having us.
Marco, pleasure.
Dude, thank you, bro.
Danny Worsnop, pleasure.